Hi, welcome back to Raunchy Reality Recaps. In this video, we're going over Love During Lockup with Jade and Chris. Now, in our last video, Jade had our party, and of course, Chris kept on calling the whole entire time, and then her sister kind of got upset and threw that cardboard cutout of Chris into the pool. Now, this week, we come to Jade and her dad getting that, I guess, a doom buggy thing, whatever you call it. They were strapping that up because apparently her and her sister are going to take it out for a spin in the desert, or I don't even know where they're at. But her dad and her is talking about her sister's behavior at the party and how she was freaking out. And it's like, I don't think it was that big of a freak out. I think she was getting upset at the fact that they were supposed to be having the party and her sister's boyfriend was constantly calling her, even though he knew they were having a party. And then it upset her sister, and, it wasn't fun for anybody. Especially when dude starts calling her friends and stuff. That's just a line you shouldn't cross, That would irritate the crap out of me, too. So, anyways, her sister shows up. They get into the car to go to the location, and they start talking about, why does she freak out? And her sister, every time you try to do something, he's constantly calling, and it's like, dude, he's in prison, And that's when it kind of mentions that Jade's going to be going to go visit him, and she kind of wants her sister to go. And her sister's kind of standoffish at first, but then she's like, you know what, I would like to go and, kind of explain things to him and everything. And then her sister starts talking about how, every time this happens, they'll get in a fight, they won't talk for a week, and then they'll make up, and then, Jade and Chris is cool, but then, her family and friends are all the jerks, you know what I mean? And apparently, Chris bought Jade that camper after they got in a fight one time. So, yeah. And that's when they start calculating how much money's been spent on Jade. And apparently that's a $500,000 house. The camper was, I think they said 60 or 80, I can't remember. The car's 60, the little doom buggy things 35, and everything else. Apparently, in her sister's mind, they added up and it was over $1 million that he spent Jade from prison. And he likes to I guess her sister was saying kind of he likes to control her with the money, but she's like, my sister's not materialistic, but it's nice to get things thrown at you. And this is what I have the issue with, okay? There are so many people in bad relationships getting controlled, I understand, but would Jade still be there? Would Jade put up with his crap if the money wasn't there? If he wasn't throwing this money at her? If she just had a relationship with him, no money was exchanged, she had to, go work, pay her bills and everything while he's sitting in jail, and they just, communicated, would she still be with him? And at that point, then yeah, she is materialistic. If the only thing that's keeping her a hold of him is how much money he spends on her, then sorry, yes, that's materialistic, okay? It is. When you can go out and get your own job and pay your own bills and not put up with that crap, then yeah, it's materialistic. Now, let's say if he did not do that anymore and she was still with him because how much she loves him, or, this trauma bond or whatever, then I wouldn't think she was materialistic. But the girl, let's be honest, if the money wasn't there, raise your hand at how many people think Jade would still be talking to Chris, okay? That's what I thought. I can't see anybody, but I'm pretty sure nobody's putting up their hands. So anyways, they go in the doom buggy. Oh, and this is the other thing. Her sister is so against Chris, so upset with him calling all the time and everything, but she doesn't mind taking rides in his doom buggy. She doesn't mind riding around in his truck or hanging out in his house. That's all his money, sweetie. So if you're so against your sister talking to him, then tell your sister next time she wants to hang out or something, be like, listen, I would love to hang out with you, but I'm going to go pick you up. We're going to hang out somewhere else. And you know what? I'm going to pay for it. Or you don't even have to pay for it, okay? If you don't want to pay for it, cheap, whatever. But I wouldn't be, I'd be like, you know what? That just gives him more ammo. I ain't going in his car. I ain't going in his house. You know? I mean, is it just me? Or if she had that much of issue with Chris, she wouldn't be using the things he spent his money on, okay? So anyways, they go to the Doom Buggy place and get in the car, and apparently Jade has this like jumpsuit with like prison pictures of Chris all over it. Oh, yeah. So anyways, they're riding around, bumping on everything, getting wet and everything, and they stop, and then they pull out the phone and see Chris has called Jade 18 times in the time that she was having fun, and this is an issue. This is why I would get upset too if I was Jade, but then again, I would just leave you. I would be like, here, the key, I'm going to mail you the key to whatever prison I need to, or family member you want me to. I'm going to leave everything here. I'm going to take my clothes, or actually not even that. I ain't going to even take the clothes that you bought. I ain't taking nothing you bought, and I'm going to leave, okay? But she stays for the money, and I'm sorry, that's what I think it is. But anywho, she's sitting there. He's calling her 18 times, and that's why it's irritating. Like, dude, if she don't answer you the first, I don't know, maybe 2 times, wait for the girl to call you back. Now, if you haven't heard her for half a day, call her back again. But dang, dude, like, I really want to know how many times he actually calls, actually wants to talk to her, actually wants to stay on the phone, because when he's talking, he acts like it's not that much. He's not, because he called right back and she answered the phone, so he's talking like it's not that much. He's not asking much of her. He don't want her to spend all day on the phone. But how much time do you actually really want her to be on the phone with you each day? And how many times throughout the day do you constantly call her? And how many times when she's doing something that she's told you that she was doing, do you call her? How many times when she's out with her friends do you call her? Okay? That's what the issue is. It's not like her, I don't think if he's spending for her lifestyle, her talking to him a few times a day for 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, if I don't got a job or anything, then yeah, I wouldn't see a problem with that, especially if you're fronting my lifestyle. But if it's constantly all day, then that's an issue. And if it's every time she goes out to hang out with her friends when he knows she's going out to, then that's definitely an issue. So yeah. So Jade's sister tries to talk to him on the phone. And he tells her too, I would think you would be, encouraging her to call me since you get to enjoy my stuff too. And it's like, yeah, there we go. That's why his sister doesn't need to be going to the house anymore, don't need to be driving around in that truck anymore, because if he's trying to use his money to control her too. And that's really the only thing he got behind prison, really, for control, is money. And he's going to do that to any girl that's willing to take that control for the money. And that's Jade. So after he calls her and talks to her and her sister, the next scene we only see like a little small clip, and that's it for the rest of this episode. But it's basically her explaining her like day in the life, where all she does is, go out to eat, don't do anything, don't work, spend her time talking on the phone, whatever. But I thought it was funny that, for one, she was showing all the crap on his face that she has to wear that he sends her probably, which, oh gosh. I don't care if you're freaking Brad Pitt, which it's showing my age. I don't care if you're Brad Pitt from 30 years ago. I'm not going to wear your face on me. No. And the other one, I thought it was hilariously funny. She brings up this like rose thing Chris made for her in jail, and she's like, my boyfriend made this for me, or I guess your husband or your boyfriend doesn't. And it's like, yeah, girl, our men are not sitting in jail all the time being bored as crap, so they have to do crafts to keep them occupied. No, our men's out working right now, so that's why they don't make us roses and crap, because they're working 12 to 14 hours to pay the bill and take care of their family. So yeah, that's, girl, that's not a brag, sweetie. But anywho, I thought it was actually really funny, the fact that I'm gonna go on her TikTok because I wonder, just like all these other social media people, if they actually show all the bad that we're getting on Life After Lockup, or I'm sorry, Love During Lockup, or they just show all the like the cute stuff. Like I wonder if she sits there and complains about him calling her all the time like we see on Love During Lockup. You know what I mean? So anyways, I will catch up next week with them as well. Like, subscribe, and share, and y'all have a great day. Bye.